These are the best YouTube boxing knockouts. Let's hope this video is a knockout 8. We've had some stinkers on this channel, I can't lie.
Many still don't take YouTube boxing and influencers seriously, but
First up, we got
will convince everyone that these guys are not inferior in entertainment and brutality to professional boxing. Buckle up and get some popcorn, because you will witness the best knockouts. 10th place. Austin McBroom's fight against a man who had 40 street fights is a perfect example of karma in boxing. If you want a video about
but he's not a fighter.
I am a fighter. At least. I'm not a boxer. I'm not a fighter. I've never claimed to be a fighter.
This knockout is one of the most technical in this list, because without hesitation, Austin bursts into the fight ring.
Did he knock him out?
To the head.
I remember
After
Austin won,
jabs,
but I didn't think it was a
McBroom throws
knockout.
out a lot of feints and constantly
Bro,
changes.
this ref, by the way, he was not having it. He did not like, what's his name? He did not like Bryce.
Movement. Bryce was confused after such attacks. Because of this, Hall decided to stand and wait for the counterattack. He wants to catch the opponent with his timing. He managed to make brawls in which it's noticeable that McBroom feels uncomfortable, so he decides to ignore exchanges and changes his tactics. McBroom puts up a high guard or attacks with a precise
But I wonder if
straight
McBroom's going to be
back
any
punch.
good on this
Austin's
new
power
boxing
weapon is
tournament
his
that's
left
about to
straight,
start
with
with
every
Kingpin.
left punch causing Bryce's head to touch his back. He hit Hall straight on the head a lot of times, which led
If
to
he's
knockout
improved a
and
lot since
knockout
Bryce,
midway through
he
the third
could be
round.
pretty good in this boxing
Yes, here
tournament,
the
you know.
opponent did
A lot
not
of people
fall
clowning
for
him for the
the
Gibb
canvas,
loss,
but the
which I still think
speed,
Gibb's better than him, but
smoothness,
he
and
could do
beauty of
well.
McBroom's attacks deserve a place in this video. 9th place. Now we'll talk about a knockout which is important not from the point of
My
view
goat.
of performance or brutality, but importance for the entirety of YouTube.
Not
boxing.
KSI getting the knockout, but I'm not talking about that.
2018,
Joe
we saw
Weller.
the first influencers
My
fight
king.
in the history of Western YouTube. KSI versus Joe Weller. When the fight began, Joe started well. His jab was on point and he managed to keep his distance. However, JJ quickly adapted and began to throw a hail of jabs at his opponent and then added power punches.
Where it all
punches
started,
turned into
man.
legendary combo.
Honestly, if Joe would have just carried on, I know like his mental health was a big problem, but if he would have carried on in boxing or just YouTube off the back of this, he could have been so successful like the rest of these guys, because he's like been left behind.
Round,
Sad.
Joe's face was destroyed. Such a beatdown could
Yeah, he
not
did get
continue,
beaten up.
because of which the referee stopped the fight. Yes, it wasn't flashy KO, but the fact that KSI and Weller decided to
In fairness though, yeah, this is not to discredit KSI at all. If you watch, I don't know where Joe said it, there's a clip where he says his boxing trainer was his mum's PT.
fight was
I don't
stopped
even need
via
to comment on
TKO.
that.
This showed to everyone that influencers are not scared of trading punches and their fights are entertaining. 8th place. We've seen a few knockouts to the head, but we haven't seen knockouts in the
Sensei.
body yet. The most unique kind of knockouts occurred in the fight between FaZe Sensei and Overflow.
This must be one of the
In this
first
fight,
YouTube
fighters were
boxing
protected
events.
with helmets, which makes the possibility of a knockout in the head more difficult. Therefore, Sensei used the best tactic for such conditions. He focused on the body work, so it'll be easier to knock out the opponent. You also need to consider that they are new to sports, and cardio for everyone is
He was
different.
tidy, to be fair. Everyone was proper
gets
excited
tired
for
in
him, I
their
think.
first fights. So
From what I
FaZe
remember.
Sensei hastened this process with attacks to the body. As a result, we saw a brutal and very cunning knockout to the body, for which FaZe Sensei...
This was where he
spot-
spoke to the commentators, wasn't it? I think, I want to say True Geordie, he spoke and said the next shot he was going to do or something like that, and that's how he ended him. It looks like a left hook liver shot.
7th place.
I can't remember
This
exactly.
place, a knockout of the most legitimate YouTube boxer, Jake Paul.
Did anyone watch this,
Get
by
used
the
to
way?
him in this video. He has a lot of knockouts. Let's start with the fight against Nate Robinson.
During COVID, yeah, because there's no crowd.
Despite his height, he has played in the best basketball league in the world, the NBA. For
Bro,
many
he
years.
looks so bad.
This
I
was
could knock him
reflected
out,
in
and I haven't
the
had boxing
In the
training.
first minutes, despite the nervousness of both fighters, Robinson looked much faster. Both fighters were connecting with punches, but by the end of the first round, it was noticeable that Nate's rapid, explosive actions were reflected by his cardio. Now his rapid distance cutting became more noticeable, thanks to which Paul was able to knock him down. And
I mean,
in the
yeah, it was a
second
good-
round, he finished the job.
Good knockdown,
knocking
good
out
knockout.
Nate Robinson into the
He's
meme
put to
world.
sleep.
It was
But then, I don't know, just, I know everyone slates Jake Paul for not fighting boxers, but this guy wasn't even a fighter, so he like even further from it.
boxing KO that opened
At least the
that
rest of them, they've been like
Pandora's
UFC
meme
guys
box.
and well known in fighting.
Sixth place. The fight we're going to talk about now is arguably the best fight in the history of YouTube boxing. Austin McBroom against Anison Gibb.
I've never seen this
We have a
fight. I
detailed
just know Gibb
analysis
won.
of this matchup was a classic rivalry of athleticism against willpower. McBroom immediately showed everyone in the first round that his speed, explosive strength, and athleticism were on another level.
I was going to say, he does look like he's
Successful
improved since
attacks,
Bryce
he
Hall.
managed to knock Gibb down. It would seem that this is the end, and soon Austin will score a knockout and fulfill
Fair
his
play.
dream to get into this video with 2 knockouts. But the problem is that part of this knockdown is Gibb's fault. He blocked his visibility with a high guard, because of which he did not see the blow. And as we know, blows that are not visible are most often the ones that can send a body to the canvas. This moment instilled confidence in Austin, and he wanted to finish
way he
off his
stands over
opponent
him.
quickly because he
What
was
even
going to
was
run
their
out of
like
steam.
beef all about? It's
On the
so hard to
contrary,
keep up with these lot.
Gibb mentally didn't break and activated his berserker mode. He began to methodically break Austin. This resulted in an epic
Bloody
comeback.
hell, look at those
Anison managed
swings.
to score a couple of knockdowns, but that wasn't enough, and he knocked Austin out.
How has he possibly fallen that way, by the way? He's fallen back into him.
Fifth place.
Oh, this one was good.
At this place, there is a real
I like
brawl,
Jarvis.
which in terms of action is not inferior to.
But I don't know, I really
professional
hope Jarvis does well
So
in this
we
new
need
Kingpin
suitable
tournament, but I
music
don't
for
know
this
anything
metal
about this Tom
fight.
Zanetti guy that he's facing, so we'll have to see.
We are talking about the fight between FaZe Jarvis and Michael Lee at the first Social Gloves event. This show gave us a lot of spectacular
this guy did
moments
not
and
want it.
knockouts, but this fight brought everything together. From the first second, it's clear that one of these guys will meet the final bell unconscious. Michael starts the attack, but FaZe immediately shows that he does not have a brake pedal, which is why we see a wild brawl. Michael took the initiative, but as soon as Jarvis learned how to dodge his opponent's attacks and counterattack with the overhand, everything changed. With the same punch, FaZe knocked Michael down.
Jarvis looks good, to be fair, for his
Lee
first
went back
fight.
down and was constantly pressuring, but a second knockdown at the end of the round gave FaZe even more confidence. So he started the second round strong, dodging another combination, and on the way out of the clinch, Jarvis knocks Michael down. Let's rewatch this metal KO and then move on.
That's the best bit, when they put it in slow-mo and you see how their head rocks. Now, you could tell Michael Lee did not want to be there, though. Like, looking at him on the start when he sat in the corner, like, waiting for it to, like, the bell to go, he did not want to be there. He's just there for the money. What is it, like, I remember him saying his contact lenses fell out or something, like, it's a known thing. I know boxing, and I wouldn't consider myself a boxing fan. Like, you don't wear contact lenses while you're getting punched in the head, like.
Fourth place.
Fourth place.
Now you'll see a YouTuber who moves
Slim,
like a snake
shady.
and attacks just as venomously. We're talking about a knockout in the fight of Slim against FaZe Temper. In the first round, we saw competitive exchanges.
Right, he looks
but over
scary
time,
then.
it
I was
became
looking at him.
noticeable that Slim, with his snake-like feints, took the
Temper
initiative.
looks way out of his depth
The
there.
fact is that such strange body and shoulder movement is an original way to hide defensive and attacking action.
Tempers one again, yeah. I don't know too much about him, so don't directly quote. Tempers one again, yeah. When you look at him, you think, yeah, he's going to be good. But I swear he's just really not. He's just bang average.
The opponent doesn't understand whether Slim will move forward with a jab, sidestep for a counterattack, or throw heavy straight. By the way, if you want to see a breakdown of Slim's technique, write a comment about it. It's because of snake-like movements that Slim so often connected with the jab and powerful straight. At the end of the exchanges, he entered the clinch so as not to eat unnecessary blows. Having a custom temper to the fact that he clinches for protection, in the second round, Slim struck a powerful punch on the way out of the clinch. Seeing that this rocked the opponent, he, like a real cold-blooded predator, decided to
That
finish
like
off
it
the
proper
victim.
dazed him as well.
And he did
That
it
one even just like a
beautifully,
knockdown and
finishing off
it's done.
FaZe
That
with
was
that
proper
whipping
knockout.
punch. And let's be honest, it's time for Slim to change his nickname, Hitman, to Snake.
The punches look so bad in slow-mo when they're just going for it, swinging, but I suppose you can only take so many if you're the one standing there taking that.
Third place. Before the fight against...
A motherfucking goofball?
Thanks, Uncle Snoop, but let's be more respectful. Before the fight against...
Why did he have a
Aswad,
headset
no
on?
one
Surely he
expected that
wasn't
Jake
on
would wanna
commentary.
Fight against real fighters. He's fought only influencers and athletes. But a fight with a fighter is a completely
Jake,
different thing.
that was
Although
embarrassing,
Askren
mate.
was not a good striker, he had good cardio and he knew how to take damage. Therefore, the opinions of many experts agreed that Ben would simply survive the early storm and simply exhaust Paul. But on the day of the fight, everything was completely...
Do you know what Ben looks like? Yeah, you know the giants at a Clash of Clans, how they just move like.
Ben did not even have time to warm up before Jake Paul knocked him out. He did it so easily and without coercion that many people began to get interested in his next fights. And if you are interested in a skill breakdown of Jake Paul,
That was a
you
good
can
knockout,
find
to be
it
fair.
on this channel.
But all of Jake's opponents, where they're
Second place.
old and they're not as
If you
light
have
on their feet
questions,
moving
you
about,
can go to my
they're just stagnant. They just stay still and they just take a big right. That's it.
Let's hit the pause button here. Just by watching stances of fighters, it's clear who will KO whom. It seems that after the bell, the spirit of Manny Pacquiao has enslaved Salt Papi. A couple of feints to check what the
Who even is
opponent
that
will
other
throw
guy?
in
I know he just
fighting
said Manny
distance,
Pacquiao,
and
but
Salt Papi
never
is
heard
ready
of him.
to impress everyone. He throws a jab to pull his opponent's arms forward and hits a powerful left hook. After that, we see a Street Fighter combo, and the
That was
opponent
good.
is knocked out. One of the fastest
Saul
and
Papi's
most
nice with it,
brutal
you know.
knockouts in the history of YouTube boxing. It was so fast that we
He's
need
gotta
to
be the most
rewatch
underrated
this
YouTube
brutal
boxer, I'd
poetry
say.
in motion. Do you think Saul Papi is ready for serious fighters like KSI?
Whack.
First place.
First place. Here we go.
First fight between Jake Paul and former
Shock
UFC
is this. It is
champion
very
Tyron
good, to be
Woodley.
fair. I already know
Jake
it.
won by decision. However, that victory was overshadowed by Tyrone's punch, a punch that nearly knocked Jake out. So the rematch was supposed
Bloody hell, I
to
didn't know that happened.
to whether that punch was luck or
He's
whether Jake
so
was
much
lucky
taller
enough
than
to
him.
be near the ropes and survive. The first fight was not spectacular, but comparing it to the rematch, it seemed like a real blockbuster. The viewers in the arena and in front of the screens were already falling asleep. And out of nowhere, Jake Paul delivers a powerful hook that knocks out the former UFC champion.
It's just how they lay there so
Worth
lifeless,
noting
you
that
know.
This is the first time in Woodley's life that he was KO'd with one punch.
First
This
time.
hook put Woodley to sleep.
Oh my
and
God,
woke
look at it.
everyone in the arena and the whole world up, because this is the best knockout in the history of YouTube boxing.
Oh my god, that was sick, to be fair. So overall, I reckon Salt Papi, most underrated YouTube boxer. Jake Paul is the best YouTube boxer. As KSI fans, I know. I think when Jake Paul and KSI fight, KSI will give Jake a lot of problems. Either of them could win it, but ultimately it only takes one punch for Jake to catch him with and the fight's done. It doesn't matter how much heart KSI's got. If Jake catches him with one of them, fight's done.